Scorpions? No. This is Guru Makoipu. I'll explain it to you. And when I sing the song, it goes, if you want to sing along, my old mate the Koipu, they say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one I love the best. Okay. So I began to tell Danny Wallace of the first religion that I had invented, called Koipu consciousness, and of how I had met a Koipu by the riverbank in Norfolk, and how the Koipu had told me that he was a prophet who had come to the world in order to save it, that he needed to communicate his message to human beings who believed to be the most powerful and yet the most misguided creatures on the earth. Unfortunately, he could not speak the human language, so he was thwarted in the communication of his wisdom, which lay in the commandments which he had written down on a lily pad. I told the man how, for some strange reason, the man being Danny Wallace, I had had a telepathic link with the Koipu and could understand it. So appropriately, he had appointed me to be the position of the high priest of his religion, Koipu consciousness. He had also asked me to be the human representative to spread his word on earth. I went into detail with Danny Wallace about a few of the commandments that Guru Makoipu had communicated. Bless you. That's from Guru Makoipu as well. For example, number 1, love everybody except people you don't like. I can see that rings a chord with some of you. It's much easier. Number 2, drink 10 pints of Guinness a day. Later in the chapter, I'll explain how this can be a grounding experience, especially when you find yourself in the gutter. But I omitted telling him of the Hippocratic oath, which people had to take in order to be initiated into the religion. It meant that you had to swear that you would always be a hypocrite. See, that rings a chord with people too. I figured that, as in my experience, nearly all people were hypocrites anyway, so it would be easy for them to take this oath. It was, though, rather hard convincing some people of it, although some of them had no problem about taking the oath, as it gave them the right to be a hypocrite if or when they wanted, even though most of them did not believe that they were. I hasten to add that I myself am not a hypocrite, but with fear of being hypocritical. Another observation I have made is that sometimes hippies are often hypocritical. I hope no hippies will be offended. There are. Well, I can either go into the song or carry on a bit. What do you think? Carry on a bit? Sing the song. You want the song? Okay, time for the song. If you want more, you can read. You can buy the book. Yeah. So, this is my old mate the Koipu. I'll tell you again the words of the chorus. I'm going to sing it in a strange accent as well. And I don't even know what the accent is myself. If anyone can work it out, I'd be pleased to know. The chorus again. My old mate, the Koipu, they say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one I love the best. The Koipu, they say that he's a pest, But out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. He lives down by the river, that's where he's got his house. He's smaller than an elephant, and he's bigger than a mouse. Some folk there are feared of him because he's got big teeth. But I know when he dies, upon his grave I'll put a wreath and it'll say, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. Oh, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. He wears a paisley waistcoat and psychedelic beats, and he built himself a guitar out of bulrushes and reeds, and he plays it to his friends on Sunday afternoon, and invites them in for beer and scones into his riverbank living room. Oh, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. I can't hear anyone singing along yet. Let's try. Should we try it again? Oh, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. Good. Oh, he lounges on the riverbank, smoking his old clay pipe, and sometimes he'll go fishing to catch that big old pike. Well, then the farmer comes along with his blunderbuss. Well, then old Koipu has to move along and gets right on the bus. Oh, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. And again, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love the best. Last time, my old mate the Koipu. They say that he's a pest, but out of all the rodents, he's the one that I love.